Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is March 29th and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. Late Friday night, a pedestrian was struck by a vehicle at the intersection of Washington and Day Streets. For more on the story, we go to field reporter Brian Boudreau. Brian?
Thank you, Kristen. I'm standing now at the corner of Day and Washington Streets, where late Friday night a pedestrian was struck by a moving vehicle. We were able to catch up with Chief Brooks earlier, and he released this statement.
Friday evening, our units responded to a report of a pedestrian crash that was on Washington Street on the southbound side in the area of Day Street. We responded there along with the Norwood Fire Department. Our investigation shows that the gentleman who was struck was coming from Biblo's restaurant on the other side of the street, crossed Washington Street, and he was struck by a pickup truck that was operating southbound. The gentleman who was struck is a 67-year-old man from West Roxbury. He's very seriously injured. He underwent a series of surgeries at a Boston hospital. The following day, he's still hospitalized. Last I heard, he was in intensive care. So he is very seriously injured. And we will be prosecuting Mr. Whalen along with the Norfolk District Attorney's Office.
On Washington Street, Brian Boudreau for Norwood News. Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. And as always, thank you so much to the first responders. The renovation of St. Gabriel's Chapel is nearing completion, and on Monday morning it received one of the final touches. The lantern, which sits atop the chapel, was heavily damaged in 2012 when it fell off during a windstorm. It has since been restored and was placed back in its original position.
The lantern was damaged back in 2012 in the windstorm, and J.F. Shea, copper roofing contractors, took on the project to restore it, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's the final touches of the chapel restoration. We're coming down to the end of the line, and this is a big day. It's a big day.
Thanks, Paul. Norwood Community Media will be there to cover the reopening on May 18th. Stay tuned after this break for the Neponset River Regional Chamber's most recent event and for this week's Living Local. Welcome back. Thursday afternoon, the Neponset River Regional Chamber hosted a tasteful event at the Space Center in Norwood. Local food vendors and liquor distributors from around the area came out to give locals a taste of what is up for the taking in the Neponset River community.
Hi, I'm Tom O'Rourke. I'm the president of the Neponset River Regional Chamber, and we are here at the Norwood Space Center for our annual Taste of the Neponset River Region. This is a great event where we bring in restaurants, caterers, breweries, wineries from all around the region to come in and showcase their products to the general public and to chamber members. So we're expecting over a couple of hundred people to come in tonight and sample the greatest taste that we have in the region, and we look forward to a great night.
So we're Cast Island Brewing. We're a Norwood-based brewery. Our motto is a beer for everyone. We want everyone to be able to drink good beer. We're located right off Route 1. If you want to come by, we have a full tap room and many of the local establishments in the area. We came to this event to support the community and be a member of the thriving concessions in the Norwood area.
My name is Michelle and I'm here with King's Dining and Entertainment. We're excited to be a part of the Neponset River, Taste of Neponset River this evening. We are showcasing our chicken street tacos tonight, a part of our award-winning Scratch Kitchen. We are located right over in Legacy Place, and again, we're excited to be here tonight.
Thanks, Tom. I'll have to get a taste myself soon. Tuesday morning, Progress Norwood, Together Yes, the Board of Health, the Rec Department, the Town Manager, and the DPW met to go over Earth Week activities, culminating with Earth Day celebration on Sunday, April 28th. With spring knocking at the door and clear weather on the way, it is time to start spring cleaning, and that includes your cars. On this week's Living Local, produced by Brian Boudreau, we take a trip to Rojo's Car Wash.
So my name is John Shelby, and we are at Rojo Car Wash and Gas Station. in Norwood, right on Route 1.
Established as a single car wash in the 1960s by John Shelby, Rojo's has grown into a multi-tunnel car wash, gas station, and property rental space on Route 1.
My father came here back in the 60s and bought this piece of property, and he told me that he could buy from here all the way down to Jack Madden for $50,000 back in the day. But at that time, $50,000 was a lot of money, so we bought this little plot back then, and people told him he was crazy to buy swampland in the middle of Norwood, way out in the farm area. And he bought it and started a car wash and grew the car wash from being a single car wash to gas, real estate, rental properties, and then bought another car wash down the road known as Dean Street Car Wash, or Rojo Car Wash on Dean Street. So we basically have all types of car cleaning. We do anything from our express tunnel here at Rojo, and then we have a touchless wash because some people don't want anything touching their car. I get it. And we do self-serve bay washing for trucks. If they can't fit through your traditional tunnels, they can go to the self-serve bays and clean off their trucks, or people do that for their cars as well.
John Shelby Jr. currently oversees the operations of the Rojo Company and talks about being part of the Norwood community.
My father loved Norwood, my mother loves Norwood, my grandmother loves Norwood, everyone loves Norwood. And my father always had a vision of giving back. You always had to give back. If you were to make money and make something based on a community you're in, you have to give back. And he did that in many different ways. Some ways I don't even know about it because he never told me what he gave or what he did. Sometimes some things leaked out about flowers and other items, but he always gave back. And my mother, who's the current owner now, still feels the same exact way about giving back. And sometimes she does that through me, and people may see me doing things, but my mother feels the same exact way about giving back to the community. All right, so you can go to our website, rojocarwash.com, or you can call us up and ask questions. We're here. Our gas is here 24 hours a day. Car washing's here 24 hours at our touchless washes, and then our Dean Street location and location here on Route 1 for the car wash. We're open until 7 and 8 p.m. each night. So come by, say hi. I'm usually out there, and I'll be around to do the best I can for you guys.
Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your local government.
The Norwood Senior Center's mission is to identify the needs and promote services for older adults. The center is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and during the summer they remain open until 8 p.m. on Tuesday evenings. To contact them, call 781-762-1201 or visit www.norwoodma.gov.
Welcome back to Norwood News. The Board of Selectmen began their meeting Tuesday night with the DPW Director Mark Ryan giving his monthly report. Ryan and Chairman Maloney were happy to announce good news regarding the failed culvert on Dean Street.
It was from Representative John Rogers, who was kind enough to inform us that the Mass DOT has approved our efforts on the State Emergency Small Bridge Grant. They're awarding $500,000 for the replacement of the Dean Street Bridge culvert over the Meadow Brook. So this is good news, huh?
That is, it was a great way to end the workday, Mr. Chairman. As you said, John Rogers sent out that great news, and we thank the efforts of John Rogers' office and Senator Mike Rush, who really put on the full court pressure, as they say, to get this through, and thanks to Mass DOT, who's helped us as soon as this failure of the bridge happened. They were very supportive of us, and obviously announcing the grant shows that. So it is great news.
Stay tuned to Norwood News as we follow the construction. Later in the meeting, James Collins and Daryl Hanson of the Norwood Light and Broadband Department provided their monthly reports to the board covering the department's current and upcoming projects. The last agenda item of the night was a public hearing for Jeff Morrow representing 12 Vernon Street, LLC. Morrow was seeking approval for an upgrade of units in his rooming house. After a brief discussion of plans, a motion was made.
Well, whatever the condition, it has to be, the plans have to be approved. The license has to be approved. I mean, according
We
to the-
approve the license. He
Right.
can't build unless he gets his building permit.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll entertain a motion to approve the license
So moved.
subject to the usual.
And the requested change to 12 earning, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Second that.
All right. Motion made and seconded. Anything further? Hearing none, put it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
The Selectmen will meet again Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Also on Tuesday night, the Trail Advisory Committee hosted Bob Flagg of Friends of Blue Hills Organization. The committee and Flagg discussed strategies that the Blue Hills organization uses that could be adopted by the Norwood Advisory Committee. The discussion included the Adopt a Trail program, how to manage volunteers, how to solicit donations, and the purchasing of trail signage. Later in the meeting, the committee announced the schedule for next month's Earth Day event.
So what you can do is you can go to progressnorwood.org and sign up there for any one of the sites around town. Earth Day is Sunday, April 28th. It starts actually at 8 o'clock at the Town Common. Free yoga, 9:30 to 11. Site cleanups around 12 or 13 different locations. And then everyone to the Town Common, 11:30 to 1:30. 20 different organizations that you can go and visit and learn about different sustainability activities that groups are doing around town. And there's also be live music and activities for the kids.
The next meeting for the Trails Advisory Committee will be Tuesday, April 9th at 7 p.m. During the last meeting of Tuesday night, the Planning Board held multiple public hearings and plan approvals. The board presented the proposed redesign of downtown Norwood with the mixed-use overlay district. The presentation outlines the projected new lines and guidelines of the MUOD, and the goal is to provide more continuity to the downtown area.
And like I said, this is not going to happen overnight. This is going to be a long process. And through the planning department, somebody wants to come in and wants to develop this lot under the new guidelines. Well, the planning department's got to look at that, and they have to figure out that what goes in there, it's got to work into the entire district. It's a jigsaw puzzle. That, you know, this piece is going to sit right, and through these guidelines that Ted has talked about, these building requirements and things like that, standards, that piece will fit into the whole project over time. So you don't have an eyesore here that doesn't fit in with everything else.
This plan will be presented to town meeting for approval. Another lengthy discussion included open lot storage ideas. Assistant Planner Patrick Duchesne noted that proactive discussion on matters such as this is good practice.
I'd like to say one thing about it too. Ernie hit on this, and one of the big things we want to take away from this is doing a corridor study. Both Rentham and Foxborough have recently completed corridor studies of Route 1, and obviously, you know, open lot storage is not just contained within Route 1; it's within all manufacturing districts that's allowed. But I think it's a good practice to take a step back and reevaluate how we want that area to look, how we want, how do we want to be doing things in the future. And I think it's not meant to be a hindrance to the auto industry. It's meant to be both a positive for the town and the auto industry to have a little bit more focus of where we want that sort of activity to occur. And this gives us time to take a better look at it.
The Planning Board will meet again on April 8th. The Community Preservation Committee was the sole meeting of Wednesday night. Much of the discussion centered around the upcoming town meeting and the articles that will be presented. Article C outlines 4 restoration and improvement projects that will be voted upon in a few weeks.
So at this point, Article C outlines these 4 projects: the Lower Balch Playground restoration, improvements of Bond Street Playground, construction of an outdoor pavilion in near the lower pond, and the restoration of the Memorial Carillon. So this is the format that article will take. The other item that we're going to vote on tonight, we do have a anticipated, kind of a best known estimate for each of these projects. So when we make the motion, we'll make a motion for all 4 of these, but with a dollar amount next to each one of them. So town meeting, just as they did with the chapel, they'll authorize each one of these projects individually.
The CPC's next meeting is scheduled for April 10th. The Permanent Building Construction Committee rounded up a light week in government. The 47-minute meeting consisted of updates on the window and chapel projects, as well as budgetary discussion. With the new light department building on its way, there is potential for department offices to move around. The committee then discussed this idea at the meeting.
I have the planning department and the
ZBA and Concom.
And both up there. And then the building inspector, and electrical inspector, and plumbing inspector, and the inspector, and whatever, will all be in little cubicles up there.
Oh, they're going to the third floor?
Yeah, it would be a planning and economic development area with the building inspector, so that anything having to do with, any kind of building or development in the town will be on the third floor.
Can I make a suggestion? That's poor. The building department's probably one of the most active departments in this town in terms of traffic.
Well, actually, that's the reason we're moving them upstairs, is because it's not. And it's not going to be in the near future, because they're going to electronic permitting.
I'm sorry. As of right now, the towns that are trying that still have to take a paper permit.
Well,
okay.
It doesn't mean our town has to.
Yeah, okay.
The next PVCC meeting will take place in the upcoming weeks. To watch complete government coverage, tune into the MCM Government channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your schools.
Living Local is a new program coming to Norwood Community Media that highlights businesses and events here in Norwood. Everything you need to know about eating local, shopping local, exercising local, or even creating local, you'll find it right here on NCM's newest program, Living Local. You'll get an inside look into what makes each business unique. Only on Norwood Community Media, your home for all things Norwood.
Thank you for watching Norwood Community Media, your home for all things Norwood.
Welcome back. Now we're going to go across the studio to Allie McDonough, who is filling in for Tim Rose this week. Allie, fill us in on what's new around the school district.
Hey guys, I'm Allie McDonough filling in for Tim Rose this week, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. It was a colorful night at the Little Mustangs Preschool Academy last Thursday night as they joined forces with the Coordinated Family and Community Engagement Grant and the Willett Early Childhood Center to present the first Early Childhood Family Literacy Night. Children ages 3 to 6 from the Norwood community were invited to participate, along with their families, in a variety of rainbow-themed literacy activities. At the end of the night, children were able to go home with a bookmark and letter art they had created. Parents were sent home with suggestions as how to carry over the various literacy activities at home, and participants were entered into a raffle to win tickets to see Karen Kay and the Jitterbugs at Norwood Theater. At the Coakley Middle School, there was a third round of beach studies. 6th graders investigate how to preserve a coastline from wave erosion. They looked at examples of coastal erosion in nearby communities like Cape Cod, then explored strategies for mitigating the effects of wave erosion. This is a great hands-on activity in science. There's a lot happening at the Callahan School. Let's hear from Principal Donna Brown.
Thanks, Allie. You're doing a great job filling in for Tim this week. And now we have some Callahan news. Special thank you to the technology team, Joe Kidd, Stephanie Bowden, and Anna Fogg for helping us with our infrastructure trials for MCAS. Our students are prepared and ready to embark on the statewide testing. There was a huge turnout for Bingo Night, sponsored by our PTA. Students and parents had a fabulous time. Students in science, with the help of Mr. Downs in 5th grade, have been working to grow plants and vegetables in our tower garden. We now have tomatoes, eggplant, kale, lettuce, cucumber, and basil. No soil needed, just mist. Special thank you to Food and Services for providing us with this tower garden. We can't wait for that salad. I'll bring my dressing. Last but not least, the Callahan celebrated Incredible Kids Day, which is the 3rd Thursday in March. This was started years ago by a camp to encourage parents and guardians to send notes to their children. Staff placed notes, certificates, and inspirational quotes on each student's desk. Parents sent notes in lunchboxes and backpacks, and the day concluded with an assembly, and parents lined the sidewalk at dismissal, cheering for students as they left for the day. That's it from the Callahan School. I'm Principal Donna Brown. Let's go back to the studio at Norwood High for some more Norwood news.
The Prescott School Video Club is currently in production. This after-school enrichment club is run by Mrs. Bishop and Mrs. Lyons, and they are working to produce their first segment in the coming weeks. In addition to the spring video clubs, the Prescott had a great winter enrichment session, coordinated by the Prescott staff and the PTO. Classes like art, baking, knitting, Crazy Eights Math Club, theater, yoga, movement games, and video club ran from January to March. This provided kids with the opportunity to learn new skills, work on projects, and just have fun with kids from other classes. Principal Brian Riley sends a big thank you to those teachers and parents who stepped up to teach classes. The Balch PTO also offers after-school enrichment clubs. To learn more, let's hear from school principal Diane Ferreira.
The PTO-sponsored after-school enrichment clubs start in March. They run for 6 weeks on every day of the week. We have offerings such as the karate club, a comic book club, we have a theater club, a cooking club, slime club, which has been very popular this year, and even a Pokemon club. Here are a couple pictures. One is from the Lego Club, which meets on Fridays, and one is from the STEM Club, which meets during the week. As you can see, there are plenty of things to do after school here at the Balch. I want to thank the parents and teachers who have stepped up and volunteered to run these wonderful after-school enrichment clubs.
Also at the Balch, students in Mrs. Kerr's class were recently visited by firefighter Paul from the Norwood Fire Department. The students learned about fire safety and what to do in case of an emergency. The highlight of the presentation was helping firefighter Paul put on all of the equipment. Last week, the Oldham School had their annual Math and Science Night. Thank you to Kelly Grenham, parent chairperson for the event. There was a huge turnout of students and their parents. And finally, in Norwood High School news, students in the TV program are out in Seattle, Washington. Senior Joe Spadorsha just sent us this clip.
Hey Norwood, I'm here in Seattle, Washington for the annual SDN convention with 30 of my NHS TV classmates. Over the next 5 days, we'll be here to learn, compete, and most importantly, have fun. We'll be sending our videos that we produce back to you guys at Norwood Community Media, so make sure you stay tuned. See you later, Norwood.
Good luck to all the TV students in their competitions. We also heard that they are able to squeeze in a Red Sox game before they come home. We'll look for you on TV, guys. Well, that's it for school news. For more information about the Norwood school system, please check the website, Facebook, and watch NCM. Now let's go to Brian Dunn for the latest sports news.
Hello again. No scores to report this week, unfortunately, but we have some great news coming out of the football team this week. It was announced Tuesday by Athletic Director John Longley over Twitter that Manny Lopes has been hired as the new head coach for the Norwood Mustang football program. Lopes was a graduate of the class of 2002 and played a pivotal role in both the Super Bowl winning season of the year 2000 and the perfect season in 2001. We're excited to welcome Lopes to the field, and stay tuned next week on Norwood News as I'll sit down with Manny to get his thoughts on the upcoming year. But that's a story for next week. This week, I had the opportunity to sit down with one of the boys' lacrosse captains, Jake Smelster, to talk about his unique journey to the start of his final season as a Mustang.
And during all this, you being a junior going into your senior year, you're still trying to get recruited, like you said.
Yeah.
And obviously, everything worked itself out because you will be going to Ithaca College for
Yes.
lacrosse. So tell me what the feeling was when you finally got that letter and you finally, knew where you were going.
It was awesome. For me personally, it was always, getting recruited was always kind of on my mind since I was, I would say, somewhere in middle school, and I started playing club lacrosse. I played club because I wanted to play. The goal was always, always to be the best player I could be, but also I really wanted to play in college. It was always I watched them on TV. That's just who I am, and I always wanted to be there. Play in college. So that was always my main goal. So I was always kind of stressed out about it, I would say. I always wanted, I see some of my friends committing, and I always be like, why am I not committed yet? Or why is that not me, I guess? And so what kind of finally happened, it was kind of it was just it was an amazing feeling. I kind of feel like all the work paid off.
Yeah. And you have a unique situation just because you are committed and you are in your senior year coming back from injury. So what are your goals for this year and your final season at Norwood High?
I have a bunch of goals personally. I think since this is like my first full lacrosse all out since my injury last year. So it's also kind of just playing again, and I'm just grateful to play. Then also, my goal is not only my personal goal would also to be just have a great season individually and almost be like the injury never happened. Kind of just play like who I am and have a great, maybe my best high school season yet. But most importantly, I want to have a great team season where as a team, we play offense and defense as a team, and everyone gets involved and we win games. My goal is definitely to make tournament this year, in my personal opinion. I think we have no reason why we can't, and I think we have the guys to do it for sure, and that's my goal.
Thanks, Jake. The full sit-down with him will be airing soon. Check the NCM Bulletin channel and social media for the full premiere of that. And finally, I want to wish the best of luck to 2 youth hockey teams heading into South Shore Conference Championship weekends. The Bantam Bees will play Saturday at 7:10 at Isaiah Arena in Brockton, and the Squirt B2s will play Sunday at 8:10 a.m. also in Brockton. Best of luck to everybody, and I hope to hear some good news soon. Speaking of hockey, Kristen has some more news for us on this. Kristen?
Following up on an ongoing story, the Skating Club of Boston is planning to build a new facility on University Ave. Monday morning, the general contractors reviewed the building plans with multiple town employees.
Hi everyone, Mark Ryan here, and we're outside room 24, the Bob Thornton room at Norwood Town Hall, about to have the first meeting in regards to the new and exciting project on University Ave. The Skating Club of Boston is coming to town, going to build 3 skating rinks there. This is a long time coming, very exciting. We want you to visit their webpage to find more about the project. thenext100years.org. thenext100years.org. Really great website, exciting project. Hope you check it out.
Norwood News will continue to cover the building of this facility. The Norwood High Athletic Boosters held a cornhole tournament this past Saturday at the Norwood Elks. The NHS Athletic Booster Club is a volunteer nonprofit organization whose mission is to support all student athletes in Norwood High. The fundraiser held over 150 participants and raised just over $5,000. The winning team was Team Foxborough. The Boosters would like to thank everyone that came out for the event. Last weekend, the Norwood Recreation Department, in a partnership with Impact Norwood, held their first annual community dodgeball tournament. The gym was packed with participants from ages 1.5 to 78 years old.
We are having our first ever Impact Norwood Recreation Department Dodgeball Tournament. It's benefiting Impact Norwood, so all the money that we raise tonight is going to Impact Norwood, but it's also just a great event to help promote youth and adult relationships in the community and give youth something substance-free and fun and active to do on a weekend night. Impact Norwood is a substance use prevention coalition in town. We have a grant from the federal government for 5 years. And it can be renewed for another 5 years after that. And the goal is to just promote community collaboration and youth substance use prevention.
Dodgeball tournament. Woo! The red team, I'm not sure of their names.
I think they're going to take it.
Ramrod, which we have some of our police officers that have played on, they're fantastic as well, I have to say. And those are the people that beat us. So actually, we did really great. Duck!
Won the championship. Won it all.
Pretty much just throw the ball and
dodge.
Yeah. And when they're vulnerable, try to hit them.
Yeah.
The Recreation Department and Impact Norwood wanted to thank everyone that participated and attended this event. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.